months non-equity international acceleration program focused on AI startups with main aim to help them to facilitate their growth, help them with investment attraction, and help them with fine-tuning their product and business models. The company behind the Challenger is Civita. We are an innovation advisory company present in 20 countries across Europe. At Civita, we are passionate about helping entrepreneurs, helping startups to grow, facilitating corporate innovation, and also facilitating access to funding, building the startup and innovation ecosystems across Europe in order to help our societies and catalyze the growth in our countries. The second company behind the organization of Challenger is Radar Tech, which is the leading organization in Ukraine supporting corporate innovation and fostering startup corporate engagement. We built the program based on our experience of running more than 50 different acceleration programs across Europe. So far, over the years, we accelerated more than 1,000 startups. We have some unicorns in accelerated startups portfolio alumni. Those startups already attracted more than 2 billion euros in funding. And I think that's the only some figures that represent our experience, which we put into the design of this program. Through the program startups gain mentorship. It's a program itself that brings value, access to founders and also experience sharing with successful founders. Typically, that's a typical setup of the program. This year, we put most of emphasis on sales and marketing, and also on investment readiness aspect, as well as into building the product and integrating AI technologies. I would like to thank our speakers who joined as workshop leaders from different leading companies. Thank you a lot for joining us as an expert. As you see, that's quite international variety of speakers and business mentors that we managed to engage. Each startup had a lead business mentor and also a tech mentor that was supervising the startup throughout this 4 months journey. The third aspect is access to investors. You can see here like just a few investor funds with whom we already engaged during the program, and there is much more to come further on. And now I'm passing the word back to Olena. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Yura, for such an informative intro. And right now I am going to walk you through what is going to happen with us during this night. So we are almost done with the intro to the event. It's not going to be long. After that, we are going to have a special keynote speaker, actually from the host of this place where we are today, and Virat Tkachenko, the CTO of MacPaw, is going to tell us more about how MacPaw leverages AI technologies in its products and services. After that, we are going to move to the panel discussion where we have a bunch of successful founders who raised investments and also investors who talk about how it's to be successful right now in this process and what are the tips and tricks to actually raise funding in the midst of the war and also investment winter. After that, we are going to move to the best part, and I need to say this is the best part of our events today, startup speeches and Q&A from the investor panel. After that, we will have a very small closing ceremony and also nice time networking with refreshments and drinks. We are famous in Challenger for our networking parts, and it's a really good one. So please stay till the end to enjoy that one as well. That will be our plan. We will be trying to be on time as much as possible, but please also bear with us if we are having small delays. I'll try not to, but that can happen. And without further ado, I am going to invite here to our stage our keynote speaker, Vera, to tell us more about how MacPaw uses AI technologies. Welcome here.
Thank you. Hi everyone, I'm Vera, and let me check a clicker. Yeah, here is a bigger picture of me. And first of all, I'm really happy to see like so many people here at MacPaw Space. So it's really rare to have so many people offline. And I'm really honored to giving you a keynote speech at Challenger AI Demo Day. As was told, my name is Vera, and I'm CTO of MacPaw. And I'm not a data scientist, and I'm not that I am already into AI, but it wasn't the case before because I started as a macOS software engineer, so I was all about Apple and creating software for macOS. But with all those ChatGPT caused hype, like I guess like lots of us are now like AI engineers in deep inside. But I talk a lot with data scientists and our AI team, and today I'd like to share like real cases about how we use AI at MacPaw, because I'm more like pragmatic engineer, and I believe that only like with real stories you can like learn something and understand. It's like 4 like major thoughts I have about AI based on my experience with it. First of all, is that UX is important. Then that you shouldn't pick like all these shiny new things just blindly, that you shouldn't reinvent the wheel, and be realistic about AI. I will cover these thoughts on 5 cases. We like have a real experience here at MacPaw, and the last one is like the most important one, because with all those AI hype, our expectations are really high, that it can solve like everything, every problem in the world. And I do support it. I don't believe that AI is kind of a bubble and it's nothing behind it. But we still need to be like realistic. What real possibilities of AI is for today. But let's start and talk a bit about MacPaw, because it's important to understand like the context of those projects. So MacPaw is not a startup, because it's already like 16 years old company. It was founded in 2008 by Sasha Kosovan, our founder and CEO of a company. And our main focus is Apple ecosystem, and we can tell it's all about utilities, like system utilities. We have more than 30 million customers all around the world, and like funny fact that but not a funny, I'm like proud of it, is that every 5th Mac on Earth has at least one product created by MacPaw. We are quite a huge company, like more than 500,000 people work at MacPaw. It's actually, office is just right away, just you can cross this door, but it's kind of, you can't do it without badge. And we have 2 cats. They're here at 5th floor. They're living in our office. And this is some of our products. Maybe you know some of them. Clean Mac, it's our flagship one, and it's a product created our company. So it's mostly utilities, and we have our own like marketplace. It's set up, marketplace of Mac application. And but MacPaw, it's not just about products, because like as a company we have more like projects and activities, and MacPaw Space, we're here now, it's like one of our projects. It's a public space to support creative and innovation like project and industries in Ukraine. we can use it as a commercial one, but we give it pro bono for like social projects, especially in times of war. Like it's really like huge load here and lots of events going on. And this place is fully accessible. We did a special research to assure that everything is right for people with special needs. And you can follow us on Instagram to see what's and visit some events. But let's back to cases. So, like, yeah, expectations really high now, but reality is a bit different. And let's move on to the first case. Sorry, not a case. I want to give you some details about AI at MacPaw, when it was started. It was started in 2016 with just one guy who was like eager to do something, and he was doing by like himself some projects, some stuff like that. But it wasn't real serious because like the whole company was into creating system utilities, so you can change it just with one guy. And then we launched, understanding this, we launched AI Lab. It's like a team. As for now, we have like 7 full-time great data scientists. And from like 2019, we are like more into AI. Recently, we launched AI research direction because we want to contribute in a deeper researches in like area we focusing on. And like this year, we supported YASA Champ. It's a like challenge for students with our own AI challenge. And that AI team, like they created like a lot of attempts to integrate AI in our products. And here in purple color, you can see like everything we like did, because we're not a startup, and for businesses like us, we have a challenge to like improve our existing products with those new technologies and possibilities. And it's really a different story, because when you create something from fresh, it's like you don't have this legacy you need to support, so it's really different processes. But AI in the company, it's not just about products. Here in green color, you can see projects for our business. You can see like a revenue forecast system, and for marketing, like a lot of AI can be used in marketing. And with this gray color, it's more like our social projects and like smaller one. Let's say Shukai, it's a project started in times of war, and it helps you to search prisoners of war. And we actually found several people with them. So let's study cases, as I promised you. First one is Clean My Phone. It's an iOS app that helps you declutter and organize photos on your iPhone. And it's like AI is the core feature of a product, because we need to categorize, as you can see here, like your photos, your huge amount of photos, and some categories, and we try to find like similar photos. And we just recently launched this product, and we started with a clip. It's a library from OpenAI, because OpenAI, everything is great from OpenAI, like the best one. And it was working. It was like allowing us to find similar photos and classify your photos. But when we were reaching like release, we found out on a real test that it was too slow. And like average user has like hundreds of thousands of photos, and it was too slow in like reality. And then we like had to quickly change our decision, and we back to more like known and not that shiny new one like technology. So we used we replaced clip with 2 models. We use EfficientNet for finding similars, and we slightly fine-tuned FastWidth model from Apple. We used a data set of Instagram posts, kind of prepare it, and it works. And it works at the end much better and much faster than clip from OpenAI. We have like not that great results, but still it's enough for us, because like speed is also like a feature. And so you don't always need to follow all these new like shiny libraries everyone is talking about. Sometimes something not that fancy could help you even more. In the next case, it's about setup. It's our platform. It's not the best screenshot we have here, but here as you can see, it's search. And search is not something like, really cool, everyone talking about, like, let's see how like I improve the search. It's like in almost every product has this functionality. But it was really important for our business, for setup, to grow discoverability of applications inside setup, and better search, better discoverability, and more money we have, and users are like more happy. And we use this AI technology in improving search for setup. It's not it's easy, kind of easy task to do, but it was really impactful. And we use like very classic approach, some NLP models with embeddings. We take all this metadata of applications, its title, description, and stuff like that, and like embed it to that model. It works great, and then we just improved it a bit and added weights to the data. So let's say title is more important than like description, and it works great. It's not that like you can give a talk at some conference. It's not the type of solution, but it was really impactful for us. And the third case is about BlueJ. BlueJ is the code name of one of our projects we just kind of finished, and it was a great one for me because we at first tried this new approach of skunkworks, and it's something like closer to startup and ideology, like you can try in a bigger company. And I can share like details about it, but because it's under NDA and we haven't launched it yet, but it's something about AI agents, because like some of you know that LLM, it's not enough. You just, with LLM, you can understand the prompts, what user wants, and then you need to do something. And it's covered in AI agents, so you can, it's like a small tool or service that gets just triggered based on that prompt. And what we found out that, like, first of all, there is lack of databases for macOS because we are macOS focused, and we're like lacking lots of data, and we need to invest in creation of those databases, and that you can't fully trust what LLM provides you, because if you want to do something like really serious based on this data, you should verify, because it actually it's not that accurate. And the next one is about Clinomac, like our flagship product. Clinomac, as for now, it doesn't have any AI in it, but we use AI to forecast revenue. It is also like not something like users can see, but it's really important. It gives value for our business, because with better prediction we can have like better budgeting, and it's really important for business to operate. So this project is really useful in our company, and it's just some old screenshot. It's not like kind of, it's real data, but not that real. And like the main users of this revenue forecast system is product managers and people from finance. And what is interesting about it is you can add this special events in this forecast, because only experts, only like product managers, they know that, let's say, some WWDC event influence our sales. And we, at first approach, we added this JSON-based interface to add those events, because like product managers and financial people, they wanted this really sophisticated feature with adding those events. But in reality, like no one was using it because it was too complicated. And in reality, they just use this very simple filters and nothing more. And then we changed it to like more simple interface. And like lesson here that UX is really important. You can have like a great features, like very smart one, but like no one is using it because it's too complicated. And the last one, it's not about product and it's not about like business case. It's about company and people who are working in it. And it's called AI game. When the ChatGPT, hype has started, like everyone at our company was like into it, like, tried new stuff. And in my understanding, it was that everyone was doing it. But in reality, like there was just this, like some number of these enthusiastic people who was into playing with those new tools, and like majority of the company was just like living kind of old lives. They knew about ChatGPT, but in practice they like haven't tried it. And like we were thinking how to fix this, and at the end we decided to have this challenge style competition, and it was just 10 days. Each day at 12 at midday, you get new task in Slack, and you need to solve it. Tasks was about like you need to try ChatGPT, BART, let's say Midjourney. You need to create website, write a program in Python, like any kind of task. And it was a great success, and half of the company participated. So you need to put like extra effort to like engage people in AI, and it's not just extra effort. Like people are people; they like playing games and have something fun to do. So, as you see, like UX is really important because you can cover really nice features in a bad UI. Don't like in our experience, don't try to pick any like shiny libraries everyone is talking about, because like sometimes like more classic approach is better. Don't invent the wheel, because here at MacPaw we've never actually trained our own model. We usually use existing ones and just fine-tune them, or use embedding. And it's enough for us, so you don't always need to like invest in something bigger, and be realistic about AI, because with that story about BlueJ and AI agents, we were like really our expectation about accuracy of like understanding of prompts by LLM was much higher than it was in reality. And that's it. Thank you. We can get in touch in LinkedIn, and as we are hiring here, so we have more than 20 open positions, so I'll be happy to see some of you here. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Vera. And I will take a liberty and give a chance for one person from the audience to ask a question, if we have any. I know this was not planned, but maybe there is one person that wants to ask something. No?
But we can talk on networking, so...
Okay. Awesome. Yes. Can you please stand up and be as loud as possible so online audience can hear you?
I can hear you, so...
How do you think AI will be used by your company in future? How do you predict the next few months, years, the extension of
Yeah, we definitely like have a strategy to grow like AI technology in our company and change our existing products and maybe launch something new as with BlueJ. So we are definitely like switching more and more to AI technologies, but we need to be smart and like to bring real impact to our business needs. So mostly it's about utilities and like macOS, stuff like that. Yeah. So
Thank you very much, Vera. And as I understood, Vera is going to stay till the end,
yeah, sure.
so you'll
you.
have an opportunity to network. Thank you very much again. Moving on with our agenda, I'd like to introduce you what we are going to have next. And as you might have understood from what Yura was presenting, a big part of Challenger AI program is actually trying to equip startups with all the necessary knowledge and information, and also network in order for them to raise investments and get funded. And we've had quite a number of different activities during the Challenger Accelerator, and today we want to continue with this, and we decided to invite here a couple of founders that are successful in terms of raising investments. They raised some quite good numbers over the couple of past months, and we also invited here to talk more about how to approach investors, active investor who is now also giving money to startups at this current period of time. And I am going to invite here and present you a panel discussion that will be led by Andriy Brodetsky. And Andriy is an investment analyst at Horizon Capital. Andriy is also having quite an extensive background in tech media and is famous for his Telegram channel on tech. So some of you probably know him. And please welcome here Andriy to moderate our discussion. Let me then introduce you some of our amazing panelists. And first, I would like to introduce here our online guests. So yes, we are going to have a hybrid format of the panel. And our online guest here, that should appear at some point of time on our screen, is Yura Zaremba, co-founder of company AISDR, and also co-founder of Xdraft, which was successfully sold to Onit. And also Yura is a two-time YC alumni. Recently, AISDR attracted $3 million, and he'll be sharing with us how they managed to do it in quite a short time frame. Yura, welcome. Yura, can you say something again because we didn't hear you?
I said hello. Thanks so much for inviting me.
Awesome, great. Our next panelist is Daniil Lubkin, co-founder of Beholder and also our Challenger AI Accelerator alumni. And Beholder recently also raised some money, around $1 million. And Daniil will also share how they managed to do it. Welcome, Daniil. And our last but not the least panelist today is going to be Vlad Tislenko, partner at SMRK VC fund. And Vlad is actually that investor who is actively investing and has been actively investing during the war times. And among the portfolio companies of Vlad are some quite cool AI companies such as Esper Bionics, Deus Robotics, and Competera. So welcome here, Vlad, as well. And I am passing the word to Andriy to start this panel discussion.
Yeah, hi everyone. Glad to see you all. So, guys, maybe let's start with a very quick round of intro, like what do you actually do, Vlad? How do you invest in terms of stage, industry, and check size, just to get a better understanding?
Sure. I'm a partner at SMRK VC, venture fund that was funded by Alexander Kosovan and Andriy Dovzhenko. I joined this VC fund 4 years ago as a partner. So basically, we invest $500,000 check up to $1.5 million in Ukrainian startups. Ukrainian startup for us is the company where 50% plus of the ownership is owned by Ukrainians, and it is important to have presence in Ukraine and develop Ukrainian office. Yeah, we love AI, we love investing in startups, and happy to be here.
Yuri, please tell us what does your company do, and how much money have you raised, and how much time did it take?
Yeah, so first of all, disclaimer, we were raising after Y Combinator. It's very different from like raising in the ordinary scenario. AI SDR as a company creates and sends personalized sales emails to your prospects. And once they respond, it automatically converses with them, answering follow-up questions, handling objections, with the goal to book a meeting for you. So essentially replacing a role of a SDR, so sales development representative, with AI. We found that this company 9 months ago, give or take, and we raised $3 million in 9 days as part of Y Combinator acceleration program.
Impressive. Daniil, please tell us what does your company do, and how long did it take to raise your round?
Yeah, hi everyone. Great pleasure to be here today. Yeah, Beholder basically is artificial intelligence that helps to look for critical minerals, meaning that usually metals, that helps us in green transition. When we talk about rounds, I think they're all different, and it's really hard to tell. I mean, it depends on what you do and what your business model is, and I mean, there's lots of differences. But it took us around 6 months. But I mean, for everyone here in the room, I actually want to bring really bad news. So as till the end of the year, I think the rates in the federal system of the United States will be high, so the capital will not be quite cheap. So basically, if you look at it, the capital is like a pool of water, and you know, if the rates are high, it's not a lot of water in venture capital, and the rates are low, there's usually a lot of capital. We remember 2019 or 2021, there was a lot of money invested in really stupid ideas. And the reason behind it was actually because there was a lot of money and the actual exchange rate was about 0. So now it's about, you know, it's much higher right now, and it will not go down till the end of the year. So capital is expensive and raising is hard. I'm just, you know, telling to all of you, if we just to break the ice, you know, between us, it's going to be hard for you. Sorry for that. It was hard for us as well. I mean, it took about 6 months, but 6 months is usually the medium amount of time it will take for ordinary startup to raise from, you know, when we start, okay, we open the round till we close around. There's different cases. I mean, there can be 9 days, or can be like a year or more than a year. It all depends. But we were successful in raising about 1 million via safe investment. So it's not directly equity part. It's actually convertible note, but with lots of different tweaks, and I will not go into that. But yeah, I mean, generally speaking, it took 6 months.
Okay, so let's get back to the start of the fundraising process. So just as investors have their funnel with startups that are prospective, and then they talk to some of them and then invest in some of them, just like that, founders have their funnels with investors, prospective potential investors. So what was your approach to forming the top of the funnel? Like, how did you choose which investors to approach at all? Let's start with you, Daniil.
Oh, with me? Okay. I would like to, get to know a little bit better. Could you raise your hand if you have startup maybe already? Someone's? Okay. If you plan to have a startup. Okay. Still a lot of prospecting. Lovely. I'm just, not to tell some ordinary truths and basic stuff. So for you to know, and when we talk about investment, and it's quite usual, and you can Google it, but I will reiterate it one more time. There's basically two types of investment, if you think about two groups of investments. One is a non-equity, another is equity. Well, non-equity is pretty straightforward, right? It's usually grants or some, governmental investments. They're not take part of your company, but just give you money for different reasons. Other non-equity is actually loans or different forms of credit. You take money from a bank or from an institution for %. You're successful, you return the money. You're not successful, your company is sold or, bankrupt or whatever. And we're talking here about equity funding, right? So if you have questions about grants or credits, it's not here. I mean, we never, effectively worked with credits before, and we're not planning in the future. So we're talking about usual venture funding. And the funding we're talking about is not, like your grandpa gave you like $100 and you building company on it. Is usually institutional investments. And there's, I think, 3 types of investors you will encounter. So there's angels. And I'm going to answer your question, no worries. I'm, segueing into one. So there's angels, there's venture firms, and there are family offices. And depends what your company does and what you actually want to do. You actually have to, in my opinion, have 3 different strategies approaching them in different ways. So angel investors is usually just really rich folks who may believe or not believe in your idea, and working with them is really interesting sometimes. And I know folks who were successful in that. We don't have any angel investor in our portfolio as for right now, and usually angels giving you before some phases. So I think this is one thing you have to think. So think about the angel investor as really rich guy or a woman, man or woman, whatever, who actually wants to give some money because they believe in your idea, because so driven, and they will not look into your numbers usually. They're not into that. They just give you blind check and say hopefully you will come back with some results and not run away. So that's angel investor. The second one, the family offices, is usually group of rich folks come together, hired some really, really talented people who usually work in ventures, and they invest on their behalf. Usually they are much more conservative. They're fast in their decisions in ventures, in my perspective, but they have really, really strict decisions. For example, the family office who invests only in sustainability or only in military tech or whatever, right? So they have really, really strict frames over there. So, this is the part. And the last one is ventures that we worked with. And the venture firms are overloaded with information, usually. They understaffed in a meaning that usually when you pitch idea to a venture, they, somehow say, well, we don't have expertise, so we'll have to go and find expertise somewhere. Usually they are overwhelmed, and maybe you are good, not a good example, but an exception from it. But usually ventures are overswamped with information. So with all of that said, it's really tough, right? You have all different strategies to everyone. In our case, we were looking for an investor who has expertise in what we do in energy and sustainability. And we actually have them. So our lead is EIT Energy, which is the biggest venture fund in Europe specialized on energy. So they have wonderful network, wonderful connections, wonderful expertise. And that was follow up for smart money, folks who have some like Rockstart, other ventures invested in us, who are really, really into energy as well. So, sum it up, not taking a lot of your time. You have to understand what you're going for. And my suggestion for you would be to, if you're really, really on a start, to go for some really fast on the foot ventures, who have good processes, who will answer you, give you feedbacks. And the ventures actually will be really honest to you. If you go to Sequoia with some basic idea, pre-seed idea, they usually will not invest in you. I mean, it's a huge, huge fund. They, look for bigger fish to handle. So just understand who you're looking for. That would be my outtakes for everyone to be much more interesting. Who you're looking for, then actually formulate your proposition in the form of sale, because basically what you're doing, you're selling part of your company. You're not just pitching your idea, you're basically selling your company. And the 3, understand, that cycle may be much longer than it anticipated. Sorry, I think it was quite informative for everyone.
Yeah, you have an interesting case because you have pretty much like deep tech company, and that's not the usual type of startups that Ukrainian VC often look at. So it's interesting to hear your perspective, Vlad. What do you do when you see that a startup has a really interesting product, but it needs some deep tech expertise from your partners to evaluate that?
Yeah, first of all, we move much faster. We usually invest within 1 month, up to 2 months, since we write the documents and agree on the term sheet. So, yeah, I guess our main thesis of our fund, our manifesto, is to boost Ukraine's economy by investing in impactful and ambitious startups. So basically, usually we're looking for the companies that can prove that they, if we're talking about AI startups, what we are looking for is that technology can boost productivity of other companies, of other businesses or consumers. and basically improve their effectiveness, either to sell more, increase revenues of other companies, or decrease their expenses. Yeah, AI, ChatGPT, and other LLMs and Midjourney, other technologies are super amazing, and they allow to do more with less effort. And yeah, I see a great potential here. And so basically, once you can show that your technology, you're utilizing this technology, and you improve the metrics of other companies, basically, and you're earning money and showing that your metrics are growing, that's a good case to pitch us. And yeah, we would like to invest in such companies.
So do you attract external expertise, like in some very narrow niches, to do due diligence, for example?
Usually, no. We're just like small fund, 3 partners, and each partner does everything regarding the due diligence. And yeah, we do reference check. Like we know many people here in Ukraine, and it is a good idea to ask maybe other founders from our portfolio. We've invested in 21 companies, so pretty big number of people here in Ukraine, and you can ask for reference for those founders, and that will be a good case for gaining like initial trust. We invest in people. Just showing good metrics is not enough. Sometimes you can be just a brilliant, amazing engineer, and you need to prove that you can somehow, like you are building cutting-edge technology. You understand the market, you understand the technology, you understand your competitors, and you can like show that to us. And yeah, that is more important than just really good looking P&L.
Great. Yuri, judging by the speed of the closing of your round, I guess that for YC alumni, the process of fundraising looks very different. And I guess that you don't use this top of funnel, and you don't have a large list of potential investors. I guess that YC alumni, and especially 2X YC alumni, often have competitive rounds where actually VCs compete to get an allocation in that round. Was that the case in your case? Yeah. And
yes.
So then the question is, from your perspective, how did you decide which VCs to let into your round?
Yeah, so I have fundraised more than once, right? So we have been fundraising for Extract as well, where we were even like before Y Combinator, and where I did not have an exit behind my back, right? So I can actually give some actionable advice for people who are not in YC. And that is, first start with people who you know, right? So you are at an investor event today, right? So meet with investors who are there and like introduce yourself, tell them about your company. You're going to different IT events like IT Arena or, I don't know, Future Conference or something like that, right? Again, you meet different people there, introduce yourself, exchange contact information, and then the most important part is keep them updated about your progress, right? So there is a thing that is called investor update. You have to do it when you have investors. When you don't have investors, it's a good way to kind of build relationship and trust with people who might become your investors. And it's a very kind of good idea. Why? Because with Extract, I had this investor list of people who have been sending updates, I think, monthly. And then when the company started taking off, and especially when we got into Y Combinator, those people were like waiting to invest, right? And then when I said, okay, we're accepting money, we closed like $200,000 in a day, right? And that creates momentum. And I'm going to tell about that later on. Same for AI SDR. Like before we got into Y Combinator, I reached out to the investors I knew and had relationships before. And I said like, hey, this is an idea I'm working on. This is the progress. This is what my next steps are going to be. Is this something you'd be interested in? They said like, well, keep me updated, right? And I did keep them updated. And then they were our first checks in, right? So staying in touch and building relationships with investors that you meet is a good idea. If you don't go to events where you can meet investors, you may know people who know investors, right? So I know. You know me currently, right? You can easily connect with me on LinkedIn. And then you can reach out to me saying like, hey, this is what we're doing. Like, do you think there is someone we should talk to about this? So those kind of warm intros is always your kind of shortest way to get the first check in. And then once you have your first check in, what you should be doing is essentially asking people who already invested to introduce you to more people, and therefore create a network effect, leveraging every single new investor you onboard into the company. In our case, right, Y Combinator did that for us, right? So Y Combinator is a very famous investor. And essentially when Y Combinator invests in you, like everybody thinks that you're cool, right? But on top of that, what really helps is having remarkable metrics, right? So yes, our round was oversubscribed and we closed it super fast, but there were three reasons for it. First, we were a Y Combinator-backed company, right? So we had one investor who trusted in us, who signaled that this is an interesting company for other investors. Second, the founding team was proven, right? So I co-founded AISR with my brother, and before that, we co-founded another company that we previously sold. So that already kind of decreases the risk of investment for any potential investor. And then the third thing, you have to have remarkable metrics, right? So to give you a frame of reference, AISR got from $0 to $220,000 of annual recurring revenue in 3 months, right? So it's not easy to do that, right? And then you can show this like hockey curve of growth in an exciting space with an exciting team backed by an exciting investor, and then you have people lining up to invest into you. And then how do you decide like who you let in is whoever invests first, right? So I never optimized for smart money. With my first company, I optimized for smart money and didn't make any difference, right? So what's important for you as a founder is close fundraising fast, go back to building. Fundraising can be addictive if it's going well. Fundraising can be exhausting if it's not going well. So get the minimum amount you need to kind of keep going, and then get to better metrics and create momentum, and then investors will come asking for your time.
Interesting. To follow up with this competitive rounds topic, Vlad, have you ever been in a situation when founders were creating FOMO, like pushing, creating a sense of urgency? And if yes, then what did you do?
Can you hear me? Yeah. Yeah, founders are super creative, and sometimes it is really tough, you know, to separate emotions from rationality, because they just attack your emotions, and you can. It is really hard sometimes to be like rational investor. But yeah, still we are making investment decisions rationally, and it is important to be cautious how you play with emotions of your investor, because like sales this is an important like topic, and here in Ukraine, because being too pushy, too aggressive, that may be a bad sign. Being like too, so you need to explain rationally why you are a good investment decision for us. Also, it is okay to create FOMO in investors, because we understand that if startup can attack our emotions, it may attack emotions of other investors. So yeah, that's the idea.
Yeah, founders are really creative. Recently, I saw a situation where a founder set like two parts of the round with different valuation caps. So whoever wants to get a lower valuation cap had to participate earlier just one of the approaches. Daniil, maybe you can share what channels do you use to reach out to investors, and more interestingly, what channels were effective actually? So the investors that did participate, how did you find them?
Well, the first and foremost, I don't know how about you folks, but VCs usually have a lot of input on email. If you look, I remember talking to one of the principals there, and he shows, so this is my inbox for today, and he's scrolling, and every text says invest in us, we are the greatest startup, or this is the last opportunity for you to invest, and he's just scrolling. And so to be honest, I mean, there's a lot of great companies here, and there's lots of bad companies out there. It's really hard for, I think, VCs to tell which one is what. On different stages is different, but the best is a warm introduction for sure. I mean, that was the previous speaker told us, that if someone is referring to you and said, well, you invested in me and I'm a cool guy, so there's a cool girl doing that, I mean, you should look into them. And I think it's 90% of the time they will at least look at it and respond to you. So if you have friends who have a startup ecosystem, or you know someone in the ecosystem, a warm introduction, I think it's the best to start the conversation for sure. It's nothing is guaranteed, but I mean the referral is the best. We have tried the cold outreach, to be honest. We have created a special algorithm for us, to send to a lot of them, and we got some pretty decent responses actually. I was really surprised. The conversion is low, so it's about if your idea is great, it will be about, I think, 3 to 4%. So if you've sent 100 emails, 3 to 4 will at least say something. Most of the time, no. And I think the best conversion, if you're talking about the early stage, would aim at the number 100 conversations. That would be the ideal. I mean, if you're not Y Combinator alumni, eventually our idea was sexy for a lot of investors. So we had about I think 40 conversations. I mean, real, not email conversation, but real conversation. We have a call. They say, let's go to the next stage, and then you send some documents. So we had about 40 before we have reached, some potential. And then I think the really important part, you really have to find a good lead investor, because it will easy your other, investment opportunities really much, because they will refer to other VCs, they will send to their friends, who are working in VCs or whatever, and they will be interested to close around to actually move with your company. And that's what happened in our case. Our lead investor helped us to, navigate through this world of VCs. And actually will tell you, I mean, if they are good investors, they will tell, I'm not sure this is a good fit for us. I mean, for you still can say no and pick whatever you want, because you are the boss in the end of the day. So yeah, I think the warm introduction, finding the good lead investor, because with a good lead investor, it will ease your life much more. And I think this is the most challenging one that you are actually working with, to find this good investor, because they will do due diligence, and other who will follow, who just, could you just send the documents, and then they sell to them the documents, and they will say, yeah, it looks good, or doesn't look good, whatever. So this was the second one. And the third one, I think, it depends on the stage, but I mean, if you are at the pre-seed level, for example, or a seed level, I mean, right now, time is not on the side of startups, to be honest. As I started with, VCs are in a much more comfortable position, especially when we're talking about Ukraine and Ukrainian startups. Here, VCs understand, well, you are basically bounded here, so you actually will be much more willing to drop your price or whatever. I mean, there's different tactics. And finally, just if you feel something wrong with VC or with an angel investor, especially with angel investor, if you feel something not clicking right, it's much better to be broke than in a problematic situation with investor, in my opinion. Because there are some investors who believe that Warren Buffett, they give you 100K, and after that they want to sit on your board and be active investor and ask you all the time, about who are we hiring, who are we having here. This is just a pain in one place. I'm really saying for you, if you feel something bad about your VC, it's much better to skip them and maybe not doing your company than having really troublesome VC who will actually destroy a company in the end of the day, but you will lose a lot of energy and potential, and maybe they will make a case of you and say to other VCs that you are hopeless and problematic founder, for example. I mean, that may happen if you have really bad VCs. We're really fortunate we didn't have one, but I will just finish up with that the best channel is warm introduction. And the warm said, well, I could find a warm introduction. It's all around you, really. I mean, going to conferences, talking to people, but please don't be overwhelmed with it. And I always joke to people, one Finnish investor told me it on the Lviv IT Arena last year, I suppose. And he said, well, there's a difference between networking and not working is only one letter. So it means, you know, when you are networking, basically you're not working. And people love that. They love to go to delegations, travel around, you know, yeah, I'm networking. No, you're just not working. So be productive even in that, and just don't be, you know, overwhelmed with it. That would be my main outtakes.
Yeah, very good point about bad money. You shouldn't take money from bad investors. And one important topic that you touched is the feedback from investors that decided to pass. And I think that it's one of the parts of a VC process when there is very little transparency. Because on one side, founders want honest feedback. Like, man, if you don't want to put money into my company, tell me why. Yeah, it's obvious. But at the same time, an investor doesn't have any incentive to be honest, because very often he is just not impressed. He just doesn't believe in your company. He just doesn't like you or your company, and he doesn't want to look bad saying these things. So, guys, let's discuss this. Let's start with Vlad. How do you say to the startup that you decided to pass why you did it?
That I was an entrepreneur since 2012. I was building my startup. Actually, SMRK said no to me like 7 years ago or so. But like, I'm happy to be VC now and happy with my career. And once I changed my roles to investors, like changed my sports shoes to investor shoes, I found that it is so difficult to say no. And it is your work to say no most of the time, because like we invest only in like two startups per year. I'm trying to be honest. Sometimes it is really tough to be honest. Sometimes founders may be emotional, and if you say just like something it is not a good answer to say like you are too emotional. That's why I don't want to invest in you, because it will attack emotion of the founder, and it will be like maybe like even a bigger problem for him and for his company. And it is important not to harm the company by my feedback. So I'm trying to be like flexible, trying to be honest, but not all the time. And I'm trying to give feedback every time I'm being asked about it. So it is a good idea to ask for a feedback.
And Daniel, was the feedback from investors that passed on your startup useful for you?
Some of them, yes, especially those who are interested in the next round. For example, we were too small for some VCs, you know, we were coming to them unprepared, and it was our actually fault. They said, yeah, have a call, and we jump on the call, usually like, you know, half an hour. And we, in the end of the call, said, well, we love you so much, so what is your like next round? So, well, you know, we actually when the starter was aiming about $500,000 and said, well, you know, we start about from 5 million in investment. And we just, well, you know, good, but not our case, right? We're too small for them. Usually we don't have enough metrics or traction, whatever, you know, so it was really hard. And they actually gave really good feedback, because they are interested to come back after some time. So there was, you know, points and minutes of a meeting. It was good. But most of the time, as I said, VCs are overflown with information. They are overflown with a workload, usually. I mean, these brave people here, I mean, they're working really, really hard and a lot. And it's just they don't have enough time to give you really in-depth feedback. If you have like half an hour call with them, you have shown them your deck, and you actually harass them with the 3 emails afterwards, and they just don't have enough time to reply to you, unfortunately, for all of us. It would be great if we would receive in-depth feedback and somehow implement it, but honest truth, sometimes founders just don't want to hear it. And actually, I think that's a part of being successful somehow, is just, don't listen to VCs or investors or, to folks around you, and just keep going. So it's a stick with 2 ends, I would say. For one perspective would be great, but again, I'm not, putting another burden on their shoulders. And from another point, sometimes founders are not interested in that. So summing up, yeah, some of the feedback was really helpful. Most of the time, we didn't have any feedback whatsoever, and that's okay. I mean, there is an old joke: how does VC says no to a startup? It just doesn't reply, so it's not reply to you. And most of the time, it will be. There's a rule. I mean, in USA, I'm not sure it's applicable to EU, because we have EU VCs, European VCs. But usually, you have to follow up 3 times. Even you have received send a pitch and then follow up 3 times to them. I'm not sure it's working or not. We are a different case in that scenario, but try that. And if they don't give you feedback, maybe go and grab a beer with them, and they will be honest to you and saying, your startup is really crap, my friend. Sorry for that, and that's okay. And they will be wrong. I mean, if you have a great idea, they will be wrong. They will be crying that they did not invested in you before, and you will be rich and on your yacht in the end of the day. Maybe or maybe not. Maybe because 90% of startups fail. So maybe you'll be in another bunch, as a lot of people are. But nonetheless, I mean, just try and. Don't be mean with VCs, because it's usually common in, we have a secret founders meeting when we drink beer here in Kiev, and we talk with our other founders, and we love to talk about stuff about VCs, but not about you, but about other VCs. But don't do that. I mean, they are doing an amazing job. They have their own business, and we have our own business, and we have to, keep going. So that would be my main outtake.
Yeah, great. Yuri, what is your experience of getting honest feedback from VCs?
Yeah, so you will not get honest feedback from venture capital funds, right? Like, that's the whole point. And the reason is pretty simple, right? Especially when you're fundraising as an early stage company, right? When they're telling you no, they can find reasons like not the right time, we would like to see more traction, I think the market is too competitive. But essentially what they are saying is, I don't believe this team can build a remarkable company, right? Because they are betting on a team, right? So at this point of time, you're not convincing enough. But if you are decently convincing, right, just not enough at this point of time, they will never tell you no, because they may be wrong. And 2 years from now, you will be the hottest company in the market, right? And if they say something bad to you, you will not allow them on their round, and you will not talk to them. So that's essentially part of doing business, right? It is very true that venture capital is in the information business, right? So they need to understand essentially the market, the players. So they will talk to you, they will ask you questions, they will get information from you. But then in terms of feedback, they will keep their cards close for 2 reasons. First, their information is precious, so they will share something that is not too revolutionary. And second, if this is something bad about you or your company, they just don't want to burn the bridges, right? Later on, right, when you're raising A, B, C rounds, you probably can get more substantive feedback, right? We want to see better growth or better unit economics or things like that. But generally, do not count on getting honest feedback from venture capital firms, just because this is not something they really care about, right? They care about their information and their startup pipeline, and they will not do anything that will damage any of those 2 elements.
Great. So we have just enough time for one quick take from all of you guys. So let's start with Vlad. As an entrepreneur turned VC, what's one non-obvious truth about fundraising that you want to share with the audience that we haven't touched yet in this discussion?
Can you hear me? Yeah. Well, first of all, be honest. This is something that the more honest you are, the easier it is for VC to build a good relationship, and the better the chances that VC will give you a good feedback.
Great. Daniil, what is your main learning from your fundraising?
Well, I think if we're talking practical, I think I would like to, if you're doing a startup, to do several things. First, forget about Ukrainian jurisdiction. Unfortunately, our startup is not under Ukrainian law, and a lot of VCs will not invest in Ukrainian companies registered in Ukraine. And the reason not because they believe in Ukraine or whatever else, but because they have usually public money or governmental money, which prohibits them to invest outside of the EU. We are having European investors, and you will find out that it's usually Delaware or Estonia where you end up. So this would be the first one. Judicially speaking, it's not physically. You can be whatever you want to. The second one, it takes longer than it used to be before, and just forget about valuations from 2019, 2021. Just forget about it. People who start startups, they see the stories about this, WeWork who raised billions, or some crazy startup with just idea on a sheet of paper, and they come up to some investor, and investor said, wonderful, here you have $1 billion. Just forget about the stories. The market is not in that way. You have to, unfortunately, fight much harder. And the third one, I think, the amount of documentation you will actually end up if you're working with European VCs is just crazy. We have founders who have raised in US, and they looked all these papers, and it was first time for me as well. It's just really, really crazy amount of documents you have to go through, but that the procedure, and understand that. And just have enough time. And I know that you will be hungry, because all of investors who are raising, they are hungry for some reason, but try not to make hungry decisions, because when you are hungry, you said, oh, there's a shiny number with 8 zeros, let me grab it already. But maybe it will be a bad decision for you because you're diluting too much, or you don't have a strategy, or your investors is bad, or whatever. Just don't do hungry decisions, even if you are hungry and believe you are hungry. So that would be my main outtakes for the raising.
Great point. Yuri, as a serial founder, what is your main learning from your last fundraising?
Yeah, fundraised money don't make you rich. They create a lot of responsibility for you. So that's my number one advice, right? I remember when first $500,000 hit my bank account when we were fundraising for Extract. And unlike EU, in the US, you raise on SAFE, and I'm the only signatory on the account, and essentially there are no restrictions as to how I can spend this money, right? So maybe we need a corporate Ferrari, right? Who knows? And when that money arrived, and we're walking with my brother, and I asked him like, do you feel happy? And he's like, no, not really. And I'm like, yeah, me too, right? And the reason is because when that money hits the bank account, you understand that people trusted you with $500,000 because they think you can turn it into like 5 million or maybe 50 million. And that's a lot of work. And that's how venture capital works, right? So you're selling your time for money because people are investing in high growth companies, and you have to grow really, really fast to justify that investment.
Great. On this optimistic note, we will end our discussion. Thank you so much, guys, for your insights. Yuri, Daniil, Vlad. I hope that our discussion was insightful and made the VC process and fundraising process a little bit transparent for everyone who listened to us. Thank you. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much, all of our panelists, and also Andrei for moderation. It was really insightful. Actually, in my script for now, I say, I have written, we hope that all of you guys got inspired. So we do hope that you guys all got inspired from the all ideas of our panelists. And now we are going to continue with our demo day, and we are going to have one of the greatest parts of this day, and this is going to be pitches of our startups. So I hope that all the people that are leaving are just taking a break and are going to come back. For those who are not familiar with what is startups pitching, basically pitching boils down to a short and concise business presentation by a startup interested in finding a client, partner, or investor. We are going to have 3-minute pitches, and then after that, 3-minute Q&A with our great investor panel. I need to say that after 3 minutes, we are going to have a gong or a sound, so all the startups will understand that this is over, 3 minutes are over. And then for the Q&A, I will moderate that part and make sure that we are also on time with that. An important notice is that 6 of our startups are here present with us offline, so they are going to pitch here offline. But also we have 5 startups pitching online. We are going to have some switching in between offline and online modes. As well, we are having offline investors here, but also online investors. So that will take some time to kind of adjust some technical moments. Please bear with us in case of some small delays, because we are making here some hybrid magic. I would like to continue with actually presenting our amazing investor panel. We are also having more investors here now in the audience, but among the investors who are going to listen to the pitches and then ask questions from the startups and presenters are, first of all, our first investor is Roman Cherepaha, investment director at Horizon Capital. Roman also worked at the US investment companies, McNally Capital and Sandelphon Capital, and got his MBA at the University of Chicago Booth School of Business. Welcome, Roman. Okay. We also have here Vlad. You just heard some very wise ideas from Vlad on the panel discussion. Vlad, as I mentioned, was and is actively investing in Ukrainian startups. And we are also having one of the portfolio companies of SMRK Fund, Aspici, pitching today. Maybe Vlad will find another portfolio company for him today. Who knows? Welcome, Vlad. We also have another Roman here, Roman Prokofiev, co-founder of Jubal. It's a Ukrainian company that is now a global company and has more than 70 countries where its products and services are sold. Also, Jubal is actively investing in different startups and companies. And among, as I've read, interesting cases are Indonesian JJ startup and also founded by Ukrainian startup Terrazwork. Welcome here, Roman, to our panel. And on the online side of the juries and investors, we are having today Rivo Anton. Rivo, I hope you will be right now shown at our screen. Rivo is an angel investor. He is a founding partner at Specialist VC, a leading VC firm covering the Baltics and other countries. Rivo is also a co-founder of Civita. He also co-founded Startup Wise Guys, where he is now in an advisory board. And Rivo is also a great Ukrainian supporter. He founded a non-profit initiative, United Delivery Mission, that supports Ukrainian military forces with various supplies. Welcome, Rivo, here to our investor panel. So we have all of our investors present here. I will once again repeat the rules and we will start. So again, we will have 3 minutes for a startup to pitch. Then there will be a sound mentioning that this is the end for the pitch, and then we will move on to the Q&A. We will have 3 minutes for that, and then after that we will move on to another startup. I will ask juries that are here present physically just to be kind of quick in asking the questions, and also Rivo, in case you have question, please voice it out, because we cannot kind of work with you raising a hand in this case. I think we are ready to start. Are we ready to start? Great. So in order to kind of present our pitchers today or tonight already, we decided to ask ChatGPT, so what are these startups actually doing? And we came up with these short blurbs about the startups that I will introduce each one with. And right now I want to invite to the stage our first startup to pitch. It's Geos. And what ChatGPT tells about Geos? Imagine having a magical math world where learning feels like playing games. That's what Geos is. Welcome, Natalia.
Hello, everyone. I'm Natalia. I'm a founder and CEO at Geos, an interactive AI-driven platform for learning math and critical thinking development for school children. Did you know that every third student in the world failed to graduate high school? Why? Because our kids were born in the digital age. They can't focus their attention for more than 1 minute in a row. They hate long, boring lectures with talking heads and outdated materials. Who have the same problems with their children? I'm a mother of 2 sons. I know this problem very well. We have come up with a solution, Geos, an interactive courses with TikTok-style lessons, AI challenges, gamification, scoring system, and awards. And our completion rate is more than 85%. It's easy, like 1, 2, 3. You get to the platform, you take access to our video schemes and interactive tasks, and get results and enjoy playing math. Learning by playing. We have grown 10 times during last years and reached more than 150,000 registered users. Besides other VC-backed competitors, unlike other VC-backed competitors, we deliver highly engaging experience with TikTok-style video, gamification, constructor for teachers, and tutoring. And our all-in-one educational ecosystem with teachers, tutors, and students proved to increase academic knowledge by 43% and children engagement by 90%. So our business model is B2B subscription and B2C individual subscription. Global e-learning market has great opportunities and is growing fast. We launched in 2020. Now we are entering the UK and Eastern Europe markets, and we plan to reach 1.5 million happy users till 2025. We have a lot of achievements, and recently we were funded by Google for startups. It all would be a dream if not for our powerful team with educational and technological background, proven track record, and a big vision to challenge this old-school educational system and to bring affordable, modern learning globally. We have experienced advisors from Berkeley and California State Universities, and now we are raising our bridge round $500,000 and plan to attract 1.2 seed round in 10 months. Join us to build a better future for our children.
Thank you, Natalia, for perfect timing. And now we are going to start our Q&A session. So please, our investors.
Okay, let me start. Can you talk a bit more about your competitors and what are your competitor advantages?
There are a lot of huge companies which propose, for example, tutoring. We know a lot of American companies and even our Preply, our North Star, very good company for tutoring. Other companies propose classrooms, virtual classrooms. And we propose all-in-one educational ecosystem with all these stakeholders together. Tutoring and online courses and school constructors for teachers. And we build community of math teachers. These teachers became our ambassadors and shares our content to their children. And also, of course, our TikTok style lessons. It's our secret sauce.
Can you elaborate a bit more on these potential threats and opportunities coming from AI for your business?
Now we are implementing AI components. We create AI challenges for more attraction of our students with more gamification. And then now we are implementing teacher assistant to analyze the behavior of our students on the platform and to propose individual trajectory to each student to better results. And also, of course, we use it in our digital marketing and our coding.
Thank you.
How do you do the sales? Like, what are the main channels and how do you do the sales?
We have two types of sales for B2B and B2C. As for B2B, we use LinkedIn connections and we use event marketing. We create different events, seminars, webinars, and create a community of teachers which share this information to their schools. And for B2C, we use performance marketing and SEO optimization and usual digital channels.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You have mentioned that you used AI technology. Could you elaborate a little bit more how it's work? What is your edge-cutting technology? What inside?
AI technology, one of our features, we taught models to create unlimited quantity of logical tasks. And every day, children have daily challenges and compete in these challenges. It's more gamification and more attraction. And also, we use analysis of behavior, data analysis of behavior of our students to propose them individual trajectory and to help them to improve their success in learning.
Thank you very much. I think we're up with the time. Thank you for this session, Natalia and investors. And we are moving on with the next. So our next startups up for this, 1 second, I have small, our next startups to present is ApexMed. ApexMed, according to the ChatGPT, is a friendly digital robot who knows all about different sicknesses and how to treat them. It can give you advice on what medicine to take that's just for you. And let me invite Zhenya to present it.
So, almost everyone has health issues and use medications to treat or manage them. It could be not only prescribed medications from your doctors, but also painkillers or even vitamins and so on. But the 40% of these do not work as expected. The reason is different genetics, lifestyles, and your health condition. So to overcome all these issues, we built ApexMed, a virtual assistant for personalized disease treatment. ApexMed consists of 3 essential parts. Genetic card, which is able to maintain all genetic markers, treatment checker with 35 treatment-specific parameters, and knowledge bank, which contains all needed information to perform treatment personalization. You can utilize ApexMed functionality through integration with medical information system or directly from our web application. So to conduct analysis on our web application, first of all, you need to define your key information about your treatment, such as your diseases and medications. After it, you should define your biomedical data, such as ethnicity, age, gender, and your lifestyle. As a result, you will receive a comprehensive report which highlights key medical facts about a medication, diseases, provides warnings, cautions, suggestions for your treatment modification, interaction between medication with each other, with diseases, and even with food. So, AppXmed could provide benefits for two categories of users. For patient, it could decrease drug inefficiency up to 30% and reduce costs for healthcare provider per patient up to 40%. We collected information from well-recognized and well-verified sources and made them easy to combine with patient health records. So, there is no similar solution on the market yet, as none of existing tools can provide treatment personalization for a wide list of diseases and medications. Now we are profitable. We conducted 10 pilots. Whoops. Oh. Okay, now we're profitable. We conducted 10 pilots and have access to more than 5,000 of patients and 200 of doctors. Now we are fundraising 1.2 million of US dollars. Most of these funds will go to the scaling our technical infrastructure, so we will be able to conduct more analysis for a big amount of patients. We have various expertise in genetics, in medicine, as well as in software development and data analysis. So, welcome AppXmed, bridge between innovation and current clinical practice.
Thank you. Again, perfect timing. And we are ready to start with our Q&A.
Yeah, do you need an FDA approval?
What do you mean?
FDA?
Yes, of course we need it. Currently, so we classify it as medical device, and in future, yes, we definitely need FDA certification.
How hard will it be for you to get it, and how soon will you be able to get it?
It actually depends on our strategy when we would go on the US market, because now we are piloting in Ukraine. We have clients in Ukraine, and we later will go on US market. It depends on clients actually, because if we actually want, but if we want in like half of a year work with US medical healthcare providers, we definitely need it, and certification is a little bit complicated. But we have like hypothesis to provide only genetic testing. Like, I'm not sure for now, but maybe we will provide only genetic testing. And currently, according to United States laws, genetic testing is not medical diagnosis. So it's like informational stuff. So it not requires certification. So it depends on our strategy.
Yeah, and you want to start expanding from the United States, not in Europe, right?
No, we do not want Europe, because we have had a lot of communication with medical providers in European Union, and certification in EU is much more complex, and it's like huge pain to even communicate with them.
Thank you.
Yeah, can you elaborate a bit more on your revenue streams? Because the genetical test sounds as a pretty expensive thing, so I'm trying to make sense how you are profitable right now.
Yeah, I understand. Currently, actually, genetic testing is not quite expensive. So in Ukraine, you can spend like 1,000 euros in Ukraine to conduct your genetic testing and do it only once for all your life. You like pass only once and that's it. Couple years ago, it was much expensive, but now it costs only 1,000 euros. In European Union and United States, it could be like $300, $500. So we were surprised, because in Ukraine we have clients which actually use such services, and in Ukraine we have MRR about 3K. So we just started.
Thank you. Unfortunately, we are up with the time for the Q&A. So please, a reminder for every founder to be quick in their answering. Thank you very much, and we are moving on. And our next startup to pitch is going to be an online startup, and it's going to be Crespect. Imagine you have a special toolbox full of really smart tools that help you run a law firm. Kind of like having a superhero sidekick for your business. Well, that's what Crespect does. And I welcome here Lauri.
Yes, hello. From Tallinn, Estonia. Can you hear me?
We can hear you, not yet see you. That will happen.
Okay.
Okay, now we see you. Great. And you can start sharing your screen.
Okay, I shared.
Perfect. Yes. Please start.
Good. Thank you. So, I'm Lauri, and we are Crespect. Our story begins with successful law firm Soranen that has developed its practice management software over the last 20 years. Few years ago, after partnering law firms and former employees wanted to use the same solution, Crespect was founded. So Crespect is uniquely intelligent, all-in-one cloud software to manage and grow law firms. And it has everything what successful and modern law firms should have, from clients onboarding till time and billing, management, internal collaboration, and law firms' specific business development insights and legal CRM. Our market is going to exceed $4 billion USDs soon. And our vision is that Crespect will be an intelligent assistant seamlessly embedded into daily lives of law firm employees to automate the boring and to make lawyers happier. So we are tailored for medium-sized firms, means from 30 employees and up. And after Crespect is implemented, the revenue increase per lawyer is going to be at least 30%. We're product category leader globally. It means that Crespect concept is fundamentally different from competitors, as all our user experience, workflows, and business insights are built around the client relationship instead of time management and billing management as competitors are providing. Our product is launched from October last year, and we have traction based on agreements or subscription agreements signed for 30,000 euros, and in addition, letters of intent signed for more than 40,000 euros. So we have really great and experienced team, altogether 12 people by now, and our co-founders, we have decades of experience in business development for legal services, but as well building the digital products and scaling the businesses. And we have really distinguished advisors and lead investors, so the gentlemen who are internationally recognized leaders in legal industry, but as well the guys who have built successful software businesses before up to unicorn experience. We are here to prepare our next round to raise 1.1 million euros to achieve break-even in first half of 2026 and to accelerate our scaling. Thank you. We are Crespect.
Thank you very much, Lauri, and we are going to move to our Q&A session.
You show us a lot of competitors. What is your unique value proposition?
Yes, but I said that our concept is fundamentally different. Basically, Crespect software is built around the customer relationship, means the CRM functions. But all the competitors are coming from the time management and billing functions. So this is the kind of, let's say, the fundamental difference. And we are tailored for medium-sized firms from 50 to 700.
Could you elaborate a little bit? What is the difference in low area compared with general CRM system?
This is we are not a CRM, so still we are in practice management category. A legal practice management category means we are digitalizing the all core workflows for the law firms. Plus, in addition, we have specific so-called legal CRM. And one example is that, for example, for these medium-sized law firms, a lot of business is coming through partnership means from referrals from other law firms. And this is, for example, our kind of uniqueness we have in our system as to manage the client relations.
How much time does it take for an average customer to implement the system?
No, right now we are working on that. Right now we have implementation projects are going to take about 3 months. So as we have all this, let's say the ERP integrations, and we are kind of business critical system for the law firms. But we have already some, let's say the learnings there and the APIs and everything to make it much smoother and quicker.
Thank you. Any other questions? We have a minute for that. Okay. Thank you, Lauri, for your speech, and thank you for the Q&A. And we are moving to our next startup.
Thank you.
So our next startup to pitch is also going to be an online participant, and it's a startup called Accelerator. And what ChatGPT says about the startup: imagine having a magic wand that turns words into amazing 3D videos in just seconds, whether it's for ads, storyboards, movies, video games, or virtual reality experiences. This is Accelerator, and I invite here Alvaro.
Hi, can you see me? Can you hear me?
Not yet, just 1 second, and I think that's
okay.
Great. We can see you, Alvaro.
Great, thank you so much for the opportunity. Do you remember last time you needed to create audiovisual content for social media or marketing? On average, it usually costs thousands of euros and weeks of work to create a 30-second clip. So this is a high limitation for a lot of audiovisual companies to create quality productions while keeping costs at bay. So 5 years ago, my team and I, we were studying AI, and we were developing different solutions. We realized about this problem, and we thought, okay, we were saying first image generators. We thought about the possibility of create the same concept for video. So it would be possible to convert a prompt to video, a script into a final video, or even a storyboard to accelerate these processes and to be more cost effective. And in fact, we create this design with this idea, this new software, Current Timer, that was the first one that was able to convert the text into video in seconds. So we wanted to take profit of the push of the digital platforms, because this is a huge market of $130 billion between social media content creators, marketing companies, and artificial companies that are doing similar. So huge market, this is a huge market. So this is a huge competition. In October 2022, we were seeing first approaches of text to video from Google, Meta, and other open source tools. And we were testing the first trials. For example, this sentence, the mangoes to the stars. This was the results with some of the alternatives for the competition. It was 2 seconds of generation of video and 90 seconds of generation. And we were doing the same with our technology. This is the man is going to stars, the same sentence as before. We can see how we click start, and in a few seconds we can generate a scene with total occurrence, with a text, temporal occurrence is okay, and also the results are so high quality. even if this is in 3D because it's all rather in Unreal Engine 5. But in February 2024 was OpenAI was launching Sora. It was this amazing results. A lot of investors and clients were calling to us saying, "Okay, what are you gonna say? What are you gonna do? This is amazing." And we identified three main competitive advantages with Sora. They are limited to 1 minute footage. To generate that minute footage, you need at least 1 hour, and you cannot edit the results. You can do everything of these main points with current anime. You can edit everything, every result, every character in the interface.
Thank
and
you,
also
Alvaro, for the pitch, and we are going to move to the Q&A session. Please, dear investors.
Do you use Stable Diffusion? Do you develop your own technology, or do you use like proprietary third-party technology?
Is our own technology. We started in 2020, and there wasn't any ChatGPT at that time, so there's everything from scratch.
Is it based on Stable Diffusion?
No, it's based on Unreal Engine 5. It's a video game engine.
If you don't have any questions, I can ask some technical stuff. Yeah, so can you explain how does it work? What's your secret sauce?
Yeah, we have two main blocks. Main one is natural language processing to understand what is happening in the script. We have this main information. We have AI trained with 3D assets to create all this information, all these characters, animations, and environments to be rendered in real time in Unreal Engine 5. So we take a product of the big quality results of Unreal to get the information that we extract from the text.
What about the cost of producing a clip? I mean, how much server power you need elsewhere, and what's the true cost, and perhaps versus what you can charge the customers?
Yeah, our business model is so simple. It's a SaaS with different fees depending on your footage per month. The basic one, it is $150 per month, and you're able to generate 15 hours of video content.
And what's the cost for you? Like, what would be the margin on this?
Yeah, our costs are the half of the price. You're in 75 for this fee.
Got it.
What is your ICP? Who is your ideal customer profile?
Yeah, we're working with three main targets, or social media content creators, or individuals, professionals, also marketing companies, and also audiovisual companies that are doing cinema, short films, or 3D kinematics for video games.
Thank you. Thank you, investors, for all your questions, and thank you, Alvaro, for your presentation. And we are moving to our next startup number 5 on our agenda, and it's Plybox. So Plybox is super smart robot at work that can talk to people for you, help with customer questions, talking to other businesses, and more, making your communications super easy. Welcome here, Danilo.
Hello, my name is Danilo. I'm from Plybox, and we create AI communication for e-commerce. During our customer interviews, we discovered that from 50 to 80% of queries can be automated in e-commerce, and we create such solution. Also, we identified some trend that company always overwhelmed by number of requests, and they struggle to respond to them promptly, and so they receive high churn rate. Also, the communication channels in e-commerce are not scalable because they require a lot of humans. Humans should learn, etc. And right now, solutions are dumb and cannot cover clients' needs and adapt to them perfectly. And we thought, okay, what if 80% of sales and support in e-commerce can be handled by AI? And we did such solution. It's AI chatbot, and it not only handles typical requests, but also provides a boost with highly customizable reasoning and acting framework to tailor your company needs. Benefactors from our solution is companies that have at least 1K queries per month. We provide customizable features, and we are here to disrupt current support systems in e-commerce with our solutions because we save time, money, and company reputation. Right now, we have 5K revenue, 7 leads in pipeline. Our projection for 2024 is 40K. And we have review that our product is amazing. Here you can see why we are better, because we have much more checkboxes with features like current page context, real person connection, etc. And no one from our competitors had some features. That means that we understand our clients the best. We have MVP, initial funding, team, traction, leads, vision, and to accomplish our goals, we need 40K for next year. Yeah, our initial team is outsource advisors and software engineering company that exactly funds our innovators' ideas. And in Playbox, there is 6 IT professionals. We are close friends, 4 years together, 20 successful projects, and we do AI, and we love doing so. And right now we are trying to create some products. We can talk on LinkedIn, and we can talk right now.
Thank you very much, Danilo, for your pitch. And we are moving to our Q&A session.
I believe you know that you are swimming in a red ocean. Why do you think you will succeed?
We think we will succeed because we understand the best of our clients, and we are right now pointing on exactly clients what we're seeking for, because initially our solution were much more broad, and right now it's replaced by Amazon Q or Azure Studio. With we cannot be competitors with clouds, so we decided to take our market in e-commerce, and that's all.
So your answer is specialization, yeah?
Yeah, highly specialization on firms that need such features that we provide out of the box. Main problem for clients, and they want that this stuff should work out of the box, and they don't want to wait. And our goal is to create solutions that you can just turn it on and use, or at least configure it with maximum 1 hour of your efforts.
Thank you.
Do you use OpenAI models?
No, first we create PC using OpenAI technologies, but then we switch it to small models that we can fine-tune for specific tasks, and we can outperform GPT-4, for example, Claude in just specific tasks, not in general.
And
Thank you.
How do you solve hallucination problem for your clients?
We solve this with complex self-checking pipelines where we should check information twice before we show it to the user.
Thank you. Rivo, any questions from your side?
No, thank you.
Okay. Okay, I guess we can conclude on this, the Q&A session. Thank you very much, Playbox. And we are moving on. And our next startup app is going to be a Speechy. According to ChatGPT, a Speechy is virtual reality headsets and 360-degree videos that create immersive experiences that help patients with post-traumatic stress disorder work through their emotions in a safe and controlled environment. Let's check it out. Welcome, Victor.
Hello, everybody. I'm Victor. CEO and co-founder of Aspici. Interesting facts about me that I've made an exit 2 months before the full-scale invasion. We founded Aspici 1 month before the full-scale invasion, and we closed pre-seed round during full-scale invasion. And I'm proud to present Luminify, all-in-one mental health navigator, which was created in a response to anticipated 15 million people traumatized by the war. Aside, there is almost 1 billion people worldwide suffering from the mental disorders. The problem is that existing health systems, clinics, are not capable to provide psychological services at that capacity. What Luminify does, we are providing unlimited space and time for psychological services. We are using virtual reality headset as a mean to organize unlimited space, which can be shared and used any time. We have created proprietary psychological program which is based on psycho-practice and psycho-education, and we are offloading therapists from 80% of their time. Solution is geniusly simple. It is a software. We are providing remote control for the therapist, which can at the same time serve, control immersive experience of several patients in a concrete headset. Each of headset can serve 20-30 patients per day. It is proved that solution is effective based on the multiple clinical trials. And secret sauce of our solution is actually using of true AI, which is based on unique data sets we are collecting in Ukraine because of charity program we are running from the very beginning of the full-scale invasion, which is supported by international funds, and it is done with the partnership with Meta. So we can build a sophisticated but easy to use end-to-end navigator to guide a person on the path of mental health problem healing. We are growing at a light speed. During the 12 months, we conducted 100 sessions, and we are securing 2.5 million ARR this year. Our product is positioned as a recreational therapy, so it doesn't require certification. It is reimbursed in the United States, and we can charge with a premium subscription fee per helmet.
Thank you, Victor. And we are moving on to our Q&A session.
You seem to rely a lot on the data and proprietary technology. Can you elaborate on your IP strategy?
Two parts. So first of all, we are using data, but at the same time, we are developing practices. So it is just a combination. So practice, approbation, collecting data, developing the new one. We are incorporated in the United States, and we already applied 6 PPAs, around 10 on the way.
Thank you.
And your core market is United States?
Yes, we actually discovered lucrative niches. We are signing very credible company who in assisted living network business, who actually wants to become our distributor as well. So signing up one customer, we will sign up 20 facilities, and we are signing up enterprise, huge enterprise in Ukraine at the moment, DTEC, which will give us access to 100 enterprises all around Ukraine, where the psychological solution, support solution will help to reintegrate veterans and reduce the stress of employees. Sorry.
And how it's work for end customers? So I need to buy a helmet to get...
Actually, if you are subscribing, if you are paying upfront annual subscription, we are providing it for free. And it works like basically there is a mobile application for one person, could be HR or therapists, and there are several headsets. So people are coming, therapist is putting a button, and there is a customized session selected for that particular person. He's putting headset, and it's done. He's meditating.
Thank you. Any other questions? Maybe from our online audience?
Yes, I'm wondering about like a use case. So those patients, they're going to the therapist's office to get the treatment, or they can be anywhere more or less?
So we are starting from the B2B because it is easier for small startup companies. So we are providing extension of capacity to the hospital and clinics. So there is, for instance, 2 therapists in the clinics. We are providing 10 headsets, and capacity is increased in times. But nothing prevents us to make a second step and start working with the B2B2C segment and later on with the B2C.
Thank you very much, Victor, and thank you, Aspici. Great, and we are moving on with our next startup, which is going to be again online. I am inviting here to present Movers and Argyris. Imagine having a turbo boost for creating awesome 3D animations, giving users like animators and game developers complete control over their creations. Bring characters to life in ways you've only dreamed of. Welcome, Argyris.
Hello. Hello all. Thank you for having me here. Is it okay with the third screen?
So we can see you, but we don't see your presentation yet.
No? Give me a second.
Sure. Argyris, are you sharing your presentation on some other device?
Yes, I have 2. One for me, for the camera, and one for the presentation.
Okay, great. Then I am asking our tech team to find the screen with the presentation. Okay?
So is it okay now?
1 second. We are still seeing Aspici's screen. Yes, I think this is you. Yes.
Okay, good. So, did you know that 1 minute of clean 3D character animation costs at least 1,000 euros? My name is Argyris Hadjitofis. I'm co-founder and CEO at Movers. The need for 3D animated content is exploding, with the market being expected to reach 47 billion by 2030. Tech giants like Meta and Apple are spending millions to accelerate content production. However, producing 3D animated content is still expensive and time-consuming. A studio needs months and thousands of euros to prepare, capture, and post-process data to transform it into integration-ready 3D animations. On top of that, the fragmentation between the capturing and the post-production tools complexifies the process. At Movers, we are on a mission. We want to accelerate 3D animation by reducing the resources needed by 80 to 90%. We offer affordable motion capture for diverse use cases. We make it frictionless. We offer automatic cleanup and intelligent post-processing. We deliver an end-to-end 3D animation workflow, from real-time motion capture to integration-ready 3D animation tools and services. The long-term value will come from the generative services that will support heterogeneous workflows. The recent technological shift has given rise to many new players in the sector. However, none currently considers the full spectrum of 3D animation in terms of requirements. With Movers, you can now capture, create, and edit 3D animations at scale. Here, I want to highlight that that Movers offers the first and only resource-efficient real-time markerless motion capture worldwide. We target the XR enterprises, which is approximately 10% of the total 3D character animation market, including new businesses that are open to new products and accelerating productivity. and we aim to disrupt this market. Through our presence in big international events, we have collected valuable feedback and generated several leads. We have closed the first customers working on XR productions, and we have more in the funnel to close soon. We have a world-leading core team with many years of collaboration and long experience in human-centric technologies. Together, we believe we can accelerate 3D animation and bring the company in a leading market position. We secured our pre-seed round back in January of 2023, which allowed for the development of our MVP, the submission of 2 patents, and the closing of the first customers. Today, we ask for 1.7 million euros to grow our business in terms of revenues and clients, and further develop our products by adding more generative AI features. If you want to learn more about the next generation 3D character animation, follow Movers on social media of Contact Me Direct. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Argyris. And we are moving to our Q&A session. Any questions?
Who is the typical customer, like what type of a company, and in terms of the maybe size and the general profile?
Yes, thanks for the question. As I said, at the moment we focus a lot on the XR, virtual reality and augmented reality studios that are developing productions or applications. And they are companies that are a bit small, like from 15 to 50 people. So they have some teams to work on 3D animation, but they want to accelerate the process and create content at scale. And at the moment, it's not possible.
But these companies are also like venture-backed, or they are already like companies that are earning their revenues from customers?
To be honest, from the startups, it's not easy to get money yet. The current customers are companies that they have some years of production, some projects, and they have already this size, and they do not plan to scale soon. They are small enterprises, basically, not startups, in most cases.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions from our investors? Okay, thank you very much, Argyris. And we are moving on with the next startup. Okay, so we are going to have 4 more startups. Among those, 2 will be online and 2 offline. And the next one we are having here is another online startup, Van on Go, with Alexei presenting the solution. And what is Van on Go? You're waiting for a package, and when it arrives, the delivery person not only gives you what you ordered, but you also have the chance to discover and buy more cool stuff right at your doorstep. Alexei, are you ready?
Yes, can you hear me? Can you see the presentation?
Hi, Alexei. We can hear you and see you. You can start.
Okay. Hi. My name is Alexei Dnisyuk, and I'd like to present Van & Go delivery orchestration platform. I'd like to start with a problem that delivery for most businesses is an unpleasant cost factor. For retailers who sell things, they want to have satisfied customers and transparency during delivery, but they get failed delivery attempts and not happy customers. For the delivery companies on the other side, they want to have a scalability and good margins, but what they get is they got stuck in the operation hustle and have inefficiency in deliveries. Our system covers all the companies, and starting from retailers, they are providing us their orders. These orders are then being assigned to the delivery companies and fleet managers, where the routes are being generated in the automated way. This is then being assigned to the drivers, which have their view, their application, and they can do everything they need while they're delivering. And while doing so, all this information is being sent to end customer and all the stakeholders to be able to understand what's going on and to be able to make some changes if required. Such system allows us to provide advanced management tool for planning, for handover control, and do dynamic automated road updates. Our clients are those who work in city, who have important focus on their customers and who have their own outsourcing fleets. Who are those? For example, retail companies like those who deliver bulky goods, or pharmacy companies, or delivery companies who are doing such kind of deliveries. But why to use our system? For retailers, it can reduce cost, it can retain clients, and it gives the control over the delivery. For delivery fleet, it minimizes the cost of logistic operator, of support center, and improves the KPI and retains client. We have direct competitors as other SaaS solutions. We have indirect competitors as for other delivery businesses. We believe we have advantages in different cases over all of them. But to sum up, we support planning of mixed and complex cases, pre-scheduled and scheduled deliveries cases. We have automated and dynamic updates, and we consider consumer in our planning. For the business, we take for the delivery, and for SaaS, we get up to 50% of margin, for the delivery service case up to 20%. Last year, we did around 700K deliveries, and this year we are moving from around 100 MRR to 200 MRR and break even closer to the end of the year. With a team of successful founders with previous exit, we are now searching for a seed extension route and new plans with 1 million round already committed. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Alexei, for your pitch. And we are moving to our Q&A session. Any questions there?
Yeah, maybe could you elaborate about your customers, because I try to figure out who is that. Could you explain in terms of revenue?
Yeah, so now we are focusing more on the mid plus, or more like an enterprise. For example, we can speak about pharmacies, countrywide pharmacies, for having their own deliveries, and they need to manage that, and they have their fleets and their stores in every city, and they need to do, they want to go to the e-commerce version of themselves. So they need to plan it, they need to do it successfully and in an optimal way. Another case is, for example, in Italy, we're now integrating with a countrywide delivery company. They're doing several thousands deliveries of per day in the whole country. In Kazakhstan, for example, we are working with Kaspi, doing more than 1,000 deliveries a day with them. So it's mid-plus companies, mostly for now. And for future, we see a possibility to make it smaller to the SMEs, also to use such kind of technology.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions?
What is your strategy around boosting sales?
Right now, we are trying to focus on several markets. We have our sales representatives in UK and in Germany to be able to address those markets locally, but also we are now contacting with different local companies who know the local marketing and who supporting in each market to get new clients. And we're agreeing with them to make marketing, sales, and then pay for the leads. So basically a local representatives who know the local market and local players. That's what we want to go with them.
Thank you. We have time for maybe one more question, if there is one in the panel. Okay. Thank you very much, Alexei, and thank you for your pitch and Q&A. And we are moving on to our next startup, which is going to be Chatty AI, represented by Alexander. And what ChatGPT says about Chatty AI. Our solution brings together all your customer support channels seamlessly powered by AI for maximum efficiency. Welcome.
Hi, everyone. Today, everyone is talking about generative AI. And obviously, companies want to leverage generative AI in their business needs. And we see that market is also very optimistic, and we will see that generative AI will be affecting all the aspects of our life. This is the typical request for us from our clients, that I want to utilize generative AI, but where to start? But what we see is that the company readiness is extremely low, and the data quality is quite poor. There is a lack of professionals and even understanding how generative AI works. So that's why we created the Chatty. So a solution that will accelerate the generative AI adoption in business. So we can automate up to 80% of routine tasks, prepare the knowledge bases, make some collaborative prompt engineering, and converting the raw data into structured and graph structured data sets. Prompt Studio is the first stage for companies to experiment, to prepare the infrastructure, and prepare the prompt engineers for the future involvement. Also, we have a couple of accelerators, solution accelerators for the typical implementations, something like a question answering, something like client support or e-commerce, which is the typical request to us. We have already international and domestic companies as our clients, and we have a confirmed pilots. So Chatty is an AI-first solution, and we have a proven approach of building corporate knowledge base for us, accomplishing by a decade of experience in implementing AI solutions in business. We are looking for additional investment that will be primarily used for extending our sales and marketing capabilities. We have a diverse team of software engineers, AI experts, and business professionals that can make the difference and bring values to our clients. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Alexander, for your pitch. Perfect timing as well. And let's move to our Q&A.
How does you share top three most common cases for using generative AI in your clients?
So this is the client support, both internal and external. The second one is the ChatGPT on your data, which I call generally question answering, but this is something when you need to bring some ChatGPT or similar LLM into your internal infrastructure. And the third one, we are looking also for e-commerce solutions when you need to sell more and you need to provide more context about goods, about services, basically on e-commerce websites.
Thank you. Thank you.
How does the so basically you are building three products look like? How do you focus?
Actually, we're building platform that will prepare the infrastructure for implementation. But companies, they sometimes don't understand they need to prepare this infrastructure, and they ask, okay, we need the client support. Okay, but you need to do everything everything that prepare the infrastructure, make the structured data from unstructured. And after that, we say, okay, now we have these accelerators, so you can use it and spend less time on that. But the focus on the platform that preparing for accelerating the preparation.
So you are competing with other platforms like Salesforce?
Right? Yes, we're competing with the big platforms like Microsoft Azure, AWS, and Salesforce. The problem is that you need to be very technical oriented and understand all this kind of stuff. So we're trying to keep the balance between the technical stuff and the technical experience and the cost of implementation.
And what is your logic of price of your product? Because I believe you need to make a lot of stuff before using your product. How much it costs for clients to prepare all this infrastructure?
Yes, we started as a custom pilots, and now we build all these custom pilots into the single program. So we started from 6 months of onboarding one client. Now we have approximately 1 month. When we will have the full platform developed, we will have something like a few days or even hours.
What's your plan to outcompete Salesforce and Microsoft Azure?
Microsoft are our partners, so I think we will build everything together. But still, it's complicated for companies to use all these technologies. And also Microsoft and other technologies, they requires you to be ready for implementation. And that's the big problem, because they're not ready. And we try to fix this.
Thank you very much, Alexander. Also perfect timing on the Q&A.
Thank you.
And we are just down to 2 startups. And the next startup we are going to listen to is Inspira, actually Brazilian startup that is now moving and scaling into Europe. And I welcome here Henrique, who is going to present the startup. But what is Inspira? Imagine having a reliable assistant who helps lawyers with their work so that lawyers can focus on what they do best, while Inspira handles the rest, making their work faster and more efficient. Henrique, are you with us?
Yes, I am. Can you hear me?
We can hear you, and we can also see you.
Awesome. Awesome. How about the presentation? Is that up?
Yes, that presentation is also up.
Awesome.
And you can start.
Okay, so let's do it. Awesome. Hey guys, how's everybody doing? My name is Henrique, and I'm one of the co-founders at Inspira. Inspira's mission is to reinvent the Brazilian legal industry and democratize access to legal information. When I say we're from Brazil, what comes to mind? Yeah, Brazil's 5-time World Cup champions in football, but that's not the whole story. We're #1 in the world as well for number of lawyers per capita. We have over 1.5 million lawyers today, and this number just grows. We have over 100 million legal claims under trial today, and we spend over 1.5% of our GDP into our judiciary system just to sustain it. On top of that, 75% of lawyers admit working outside business hours because they're overwhelmed. They spend on average over 20 hours a week buried into administrative tasks, such as legal drafting, reviewing, and legal researching. A recent study published by Goldman Sachs has ranked legal second worldwide for highest potential for automation. And that's exactly the gap that Inspira is attacking. So Inspira is a trustworthy co-pilot for lawyers. So in 2022, we focused on our legal research engine and knowledge management system. In 2023, we focused on our GenAI capabilities, such as reading documents, legal analysis, and summarizing. This year, we've been focusing on more jobs to be done. So all the previous time-consuming tasks performed by lawyers will now be performed by the co-pilot, allowing lawyers to be 10 times more productive. And that's exactly what our roadmap shows. So we started with a very horizontal solution for every legal player in the industry. We're migrating into only one legal solution for the middle market. And finally, through GenAI, going to a full automation solution for the whole industry. So our market of choice is a B2B segment. So 75% of the biggest firms in Brazil, as well as the top firm already in Portugal or our clients, as well as 40% of the biggest banks in Brazil. Apart from that, we've been setting strategic partnerships with traditional law schools because we believe law students should have access to these technologies as they enter their professional career. We've grown over 200% in the last year. We want to finish the year with 1.2 million in ARR in euros, as well as 3.6 by 2025. Some key metrics: our LTV to CAC ratio is at 6, our net retention at 122%. Some KPIs: we have over 130 clients today, over 5,000 users. Everything that I've said comes down to this: over 900,000 hours saved for users, meaning over a month of their lifetime recovered. We've put together an amazing team of corporate lawyers and tax experts who make everything like this happen. We're actively seeking a 1 million seed rounds, and I'm happy to take any questions that you guys may have. Thank you.
Thank you, Henrique. Also, thank you for a perfect timing. And we are starting with our Q&A session and with any questions that would come up.
There are many solutions that are kind of similar, trying to do the same thing. So I'm wondering, in addition to maybe focusing on the Portuguese or Portuguese-speaking markets, are there any other sort of like secret sources to compete the others?
Good question. So the first and more important moat that we have today is the database. So we've been collecting the database and been storing it and training our model as well as our own algorithm into that database. And because of that, our model is really good to perform all these tasks that the platform is able to. Whenever we're moving on to the next jurisdictions, that will be the same plan for us. So collect data, train the model, and then move on to the next jurisdictions.
And the model, this is like jurisdiction specific, right?
Of course. So the way we found to avoid hallucinations and then make it very credible is to train the model within a strict data set. Right, so we found that legal rulings and legal documents are the way to go, and once we do that specifically for every jurisdictions, we can move on to the next one.
Got it. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions here from the? Yeah.
And what initial data source for you? For Portuguese, it's okay, yeah, you have already, but for example, for German or for English?
Of course, then what we're doing for Portugal, which is the port of entry, we're going to do own local legislation as well as European one. And once we do European one, that's going to be a matter of going into every jurisdiction and collecting the data. That it's surely, and we've tested that, much easier than we've been doing in Brazil. We've been collecting data in Brazil for over almost 3 years now. We have over 100 ports there, so the database is much larger. So we're very confident that we're going to be able to do that for other jurisdictions as well.
Thank you. Thank you, Henrique, for the preach and also Q&A. And we are moving on.
Thank you.
And our last but not the least startup to listen to today is Rhythmex, a super smart digital robot friend who can understand everything people say and then write it down for you. Welcome, Denis, here.
Thank you so much. Hi, everyone. My name is Denis. Rhythmex is a post-call analytics solution for contact centers, which provides every transcribed call with valuable data, enhancing agents' performance, and provides an insights and safe evaluation time. So we address to the problems. Consumers usually switch contact center providers due to a lack of the right data, wasting time on evaluation clients' pain points, high level of failure of VCR due to lack of the data. Rhythmex provides a complex solution which improves first contact resolution, success rate, enhances relations with customers, and boosting agent performance. Basically, Rhythmex can save companies and organizations around 50 working hours per month and 36K annually by avoiding hiring extra supervisor. Since we have launched in January 2022 without any paid promotion, starting with our B2C version, we are now close to almost 11,000 customers, 2,673 active customers, and 71 paid customers. We provide subscription-based business model. We charge for group licenses annually and monthly. Our dev team is working 24/7 to release crucial features that would set us apart from a competition till the end of July 2024. The post-call analytics is pretty fresh, so we defined the most suitable competitors, but we are different. We decided to focus on providing automated solution for QA. So we will save time for companies and their supervisors analyzing tons of call each day. We want to get into the USA call center market. Thanks to Challenger Accelerator, we started to actively show our demo to potential clients. And right now, we already have 4 successfully signed agreements with software distributors, which we hope will provide us with our first pilots in upcoming months. Our team consists of 5 individuals. We work together since 2016. We worked with the famous products like Navi, A Priori, Stripo, IRL, and Nestle.
Thank you
Thanks for
very
your attention.
much, Denis. I guess it was the last slide anyway, so our investors can see what you wanted to present. Yes, and we are moving to the Q&A. Any questions from the audience and the investors?
Yeah, how do you train your model? Do you use synthetic data, or have you found any data source?
Yeah, we use AWS ASR model right now, but we hope to train our own models when we get our first clients. We would provide it like a feature.
What's your go-to-market for the US market, basically?
Go-to-market, basically any organizations or companies which has huge contact centers who are in need in automating their supervising and analyzing processes.
Any other questions? Yeah.
Yeah, so what's your plan to get more customers, and how do you want to do it?
Yeah, it's really hard to do this without any promotion. We don't have any sales dedicated team. So we tried to think what we can do in this situation. So we found a way, like we contacted several software distributors in North America, and they actually were interested in our product. And we have already signed a few agreements, and we hope that they will provide us with our at least first pilots in these upcoming months, 1-2 months.
Thank you. Great. Then thank you very much, Denis.
Thank you so much for your attention.
And your Q&A. Awesome. And we are done with the pitching of our 11 startups of Challenger AI Accelerator batch. That was quite a lot of information, I must say. And I hope that everyone feels a bit more inspired to do different things and maybe establish a startup as well. Thank you, startups, for your great pitches. Most were on time, within the time framework. That was great. And also for your answers. And thank you, our investors, for the questions. I would ask our investors to maybe give just like some short conclusion or advice for the startups that you heard today, that most of them or all of them are on the journey to raise money, which is not, as we've heard before in the panel, easy as it was before. So what would be your advice, or maybe some conclusion that you would want to give? Something short and sweet.
Okay, I'm ready to start. Today we heard a lot about technology, but every business, it's about the problem and solution of the specific problem. So my best advice is to think about the problem of customer, not about technology. Technology is like a tool, but you need to understand pains of customer and think about the problem of customer.
Thank you.
Yeah, I will add to Roman's idea that sales is something that's really important, and it is hard to raise investments, but if you have a good revenue stream and you understand your customer problems and you know how to get new customers and you can optimize your team and find efficient way to grow even faster, and such company will be more attractive for VCs to invest in.
Thanks.
Yeah, many people believe that AI is going to be a game changer. I share this view. And basically, my advice is like not opt for the most obvious applications, something that immediately steams out of this new trend. Try to think deeper, try to think more creative, find pains, as Roman said, and think about creative ways of how AI can help to solve it.
Thank you. And Rivo, any advice from? Yeah.
Little left to say, really, but I wish everybody a lot of persistence, because that's what it takes to build a company and raise a round.
Okay. Thank you. That's a conclusion from the investor. A lot of persistence for all our startups. Thank you very much again, our investors. I hope there will be some discussions going on after the end of the official part, and also with some other investors that are present here in this audience. And before we finalize our event today, I would like to say that with this demo day, we do not expect that this is the end of the journey for our startups. They probably are just starting on embarking the journey of raising the funding. And we would like to share with you some of the next steps that are going to happen with our batch. So first of all, I will need to find a clicker, first of all. First of all, there is one of the startups in our batch that is going to participate in Latitude 59 as a part of our delegation that Civita organizes for the conference. It's startup Gios, and we hope that Natalia will find a lot of yes. Let's clap. That Natalia will find a lot of new connections and will be able to secure funding as soon as it is possible. Our next opportunity is that we will be contacting a couple of startups from our batch in order to help them out in the next couple of months with the support to raise funding. And this will be a bit more like hands-on support with networking, contacting investors, and helping out to do it as soon as possible as well. So stay tuned. We will be sending out some invitations. And for everyone that we are having in our Ukrainian batch, we would like to present with tickets to Lviv IT Arena. In order to continue this journey, hopefully some of you will close the investment round, but probably not all of you. So we want you to also participate in this conference and secure your places. So I would like to invite here all of the, at least one representative from each of the Ukrainian startup, so we can give you the certificates to our to this conference. Woohoo! Пропав. Yay! We hope to see you all at Lviv IT Arena and be able to share some successes and good stories. And almost finishing, I would like, on behalf of the whole Challenger AI team, to say a couple of thank you and give gratitude to those who contributed to our program and made this happen. Certainly, nothing would... so certainly, nothing would happen without our startups. I want to say thank you for all the startups that participated in the acceleration program, put their efforts, put their time in order to succeed and in order to progress with their solutions. So again, I want to give a big round of applause for all the startups that are actually putting their perseverance and trying to make their solutions be a reality and be successful. So big round of applause for our startups. I also want to say thank you to the Challenger AI team. It's a bunch of people, not that big one, that makes everything happen for around a year. We started, I think, in August last year, and we are just not yet even finishing. It's been a lot of work, so I would like to say thank you to everyone who contributed, and also have a big round of applause for those people. Also, our program would never be possible without all the ecosystem players that contributed. We already mentioned trainers, mentors, experts, investors, but I also want to say thank you to two of our main supporters, Estonian Ministry of Foreign Affairs, specifically Estonian Center for International Development and Western NIS Enterprise Fund, that are already our all-time supporters. And I also want to say thank you to all of the partners that believed in us from Challenger AI first batch, and also contributed to our growth and to us making Challenger AI 2.0 happen as well. Thank you very much. And we are also very happy to let you know that we are not finishing with this Challenger AI, and we are going to have Challenger AI 3.0 starting this year, at the end of the year, with the same timeline we had for our previous batch. And we are going to start this batch with AI for UR Recovery Hackathon that is going to happen in September. So everyone who is interested in AI and also in solutions that can help Ukraine recover from the war, we are welcoming you to join our hackathon, and later on pre-acceleration program after hackathon, and then Challenger AI 3.0. So stay tuned and keep track of our social media. Here you can see our QR codes to those in case you are not in touch yet with us. And with this concludes another year for us with Challenger. We are finalizing this demo day and welcoming you to have some time on networking, have some refreshments, drinks, talk with each other, talk with our startups, talk with our investors, guests, and have fun. Thank you so much for coming and being with us. On the other note, we have some cool stuff. We have like a photo booth, so if you want to have a nice picture with your friends or with startups, please go to our photo booth and take picture. And startups, please come to the stage. We will also take a picture